I really dislike the club Rennes in France. And this all stems from when I used to stream in the French League back in 2020 for the Youth to Goal with Strasbourg. So of course my dad thought it'd be funny to take them on. And with him in charge, I need to think of some tricky challenges for him. Starting off with the obvious, I believe. 3 French titles in 10 seasons. Which of course is going to be very difficult because of PSG. Dad also has to win 3 Coupe de France trophies as well. And he has to win at least 2 European trophies. And I'm going to say that one of them has to be the Champions League trophy. So with these extremely difficult challenges set, and before we take a look at Season 1, let me know your guess for how many different tactics the Tinkerman uses at Rennes in 10 seasons in the comments down below. Dad had a very limited budget in Season number 1 and spent most of it on Eduardo Quaresma to bring him to the club for a price of 7.5 million. The first tactic my father opted for is a 4-3-3 but with narrow attacking midfielders instead of wingers, and Quaresma's being kept in that centre-back position because, as you can see, he gets taken out of the best 11 check by a player who definitely isn't better. The star man for me though is definitely Amine Gouiri, who is very well rounded as a centre forward, but there's also a couple of wonder kids on the bench, including Callum Mwendu and a midfielder in Desiree Doué, who has bags of potential. And it's been a fantastic start to the season as well, with this system winning 3 out of 4 matches so far. Amine Gouiri has also started the season very well and picked up a couple of goals, which is exactly what Dad needs to happen. And Rennes are also in the Europa League this season, and Dad's group should be easy to get out of. So let's see what happens in Season 1 with the club I hate the most, Rennes. Oh, first season, 2nd place.
Pleased with that.
That's not too bad, is it?
It's always going to be you're chasing PSG, isn't it? So
Yeah.
To get into that position first season, we've got something to work on now.
Yeah, I mean, you were top for a little bit near the start, but once they took over, you kind of just stayed in second
chasing.
place. But being consistently in second and being there by some distance, 7 points too.
I think that's a really good start for the season. That.
Yeah, I agree.
First
Martin
season.
Terrier was your top scorer, which does surprise me a little bit when you got the likes of Amine Gouiri around.
Yeah.
They only lost 2 games. One of them was against you as well, so great result.
Yeah.
You lost 5 in total, the away leg against PSG, but you only lost away games. Made the home pitch a fortress. Yeah. Good start for this season with Rennes. You got Martin Terrier there with 16 goals. Seydou was one of your highest average rating goalkeepers, your defenders, sorry. What about the cup though, of course, because that is one of the challenges as well. No, 10th round by Cannes.
Yeah, it was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's 2nd division team knocking you out there. That is not what you want. And the knockout playoff round by Newcastle in the Europa League. 5-3 on aggregate there, which isn't fantastic. Let's look at your group stage, see how you got on. So you finished 2nd to Ajax, which is kind of what we predicted, to be honest. 8th place, 8 points was AEK, so 2 points above them. Going into the knockout playoff round, that's when you lost against Newcastle. But in the final, Atletico Madrid defeated Atalanta. The Coupe de France, though, was won by PSG, so they've won a domestic double.
You've got to try and stay away from them, haven't you?
Yep, absolutely, and they've gone all the way through. So goals-wise, I think you are struggling a little bit. I mean, Gouiri did not play as many games. Maybe that's your trouble.
Yeah.
He's quite unhappy about it as well, because you're getting game time. He's one of the best around. 20 goals for Martin Terrier on that left-hand side is good. Quaresma, you knocked him in. Hasn't really developed as a youngster, but okay.
Early days, weren't it?
Yeah. Transfer budget for next season. You need a big budget to keep up with PSG.
Yeah.
5 million.
Oh dear.
That is not looking good.
No.
Finances of Rennes isn't fantastic. They do have £82 million in the debts. So, what a shame. Eh? What a shame. No trophy season number 1. What does Dad do in season number 2 summer? With Dad not having much of a budget, he needed to sell players, and that's why Seydou leaves for 17 million to give something to spend. So with Alex Krau coming in for a very small amount, Dad also went for 2 free transfers and a goalkeeper from Uruguay, as well as Anthony Martial, giving him another striker option in Season 2. But I'm very interested to see on what he's going to do with Luciano Rodriguez, considering he's another striker, or a right winger naturally, and for £10 million he's already hit the ground running, with 2 goals and 5 assists in just 4 games. Dad's final signing of the summer for Rennes was Hilgers, who is a Dutch centre-back who I imagine will jump straight into the starting 11. A nice little pickup for 15 million. And yes, guys, immediately we notch up a tactic change for season number 2. The Tinkerman is going to be very attacking with a 4-1-3-2 formation, but he has the attacking threat and it's been doing very good for him so far. Because having 2 ball-playing defenders really helps with tactics like this, but it also helps when your strikers score worldies like Callum Mwendu can. And is this a sign of things to come as Rennes beats PSG in the Super Cup? Also, look at the goals this tactic is scoring. Even when Dad is conceding 5 goals, they still scored 6. This has been a very hot start for Rennes that sees Dad's side sit at the top of the table already, with PSG losing 1 game. So is there a chance Rennes can win the first of 3 titles in season number 2? Well, let's crack on with the season and see if Dad can continue the good form. Well, season 2... disappointing considering where we left at the start of the season, because you were dominating games.
I mean, I look at that and think, well, I've still got 2nd place, and PSG only lost 1 game this season.
Yeah.
So they got better.
Yeah, they did. You ended up having to beat Nice on the final day to actually claim that 2nd place as well.
Yeah.
Or you bettered their result, I guess, because I think they drew the final game. So not too bad. Obviously, chasing PSG, you're nowhere near them.
No.
24 points pretty much is going to be
difficult.
difficult.
The budget that I'm getting, it's going to be a few seasons before I start catching them up.
Yeah. What about the cup competitions, though? That's the chance to get an early trophy in this challenge. It's not for you today. Round of 16 in the Champions League by Manchester City. 11th round by Lorient this time.
Yeah.
At least they're in your league.
Yeah.
But still not amazing and still not scoring enough goals. Top scorer of the league with 9. Both midfielders. Are scoring the most goals for you, unfortunately. Champions League round of 16, you only lost 3-2 on aggregate to Manchester City, so that's not too bad. You only scraped through, actually. Look at that, 24th place. Oh my God. So you lost 4 games. One was against Man United, both Manchester sides, actually. You lost against them in the league phase 2, and you were stuffed away from home against Napoli. Drew against Milan and Celtic, some entertaining games there, and beat Karabag and PSV Eindhoven. But yeah, not fantastic. 11th round, knocked out by Lorient 2-1, and Nice went on to win in the final against the team that knocked you out last year from League 2.
Yeah.
Wow. So who knocked out PSG on the road to... oh my God, they were knocked out early. 11th round by Troyes, who's a 2nd division side.
That's when you've got to take the chance then, isn't it?
Yeah, that was
once they lose against someone, you've got to jump in quickly and get in there then.
That was your year 2, wasn't it? That was. Nice took advantage of that.
Yeah.
So goals-wise then, you only had 12 from Amine Gouiri, which was your top scorer, 11 from Luciano Rodriguez, but also from Blas, Bougeroyd, and Anthony Martial, 10 from Martin Terrier. The lacking goals is scary, Dad.
Yeah.
You got some good players in midfield, and obviously you got the likes of Arthur Thiat in defence. I really wish you would start playing Desiree Doué because he's amazing, but it doesn't look like he's fitting in your plans. But you got £23 million to spend next season. It's not bad.
No.
I think it's the Champions League football that's kind of helping you there.
Yeah.
Okay. Summer of number 3. No trophy yet for Dad with Rennes, and that PSG team don't look like they're going to hold up anytime soon. To add to Dad's rough £25 million budget, he decided to sell Enzo Lafitte to Damact in Saudi Arabia for another £8 million. But on the ins, Dad brought in a fantastic right back from the Serie A in Gendry, who is French but signed from Lecce for £8 million. Tommy Doyle also crossed the channel to join Dad at Rennes from Manchester City on a free transfer. But of course, Dad loves signing new goalkeepers, and Elia Capriel is this season's new goalkeeper, coming in from Napoli for $11 million. Probably just a backup to Arthur Thiat is Mika Marmol, who is a fantastic left-footed centre-back option that can also play left-back, and Dad's brought him in for Las Palmas for $10 million. The final signing of the summer for Dad, though, was Amad Diallo in on loan from Manchester United. People who are hoping for another tactic change in Season 3 are in luck, as Dad ditches the attacking style from Season 2 to go to a 4-2-2 in Season 3. But again, an unbeaten start of the season, although PSG are looking really strong too. And for Dad to win the league, he needs them to have a disastrous season. Year 3 and you're still chasing.
What I like about the look of that, though, is I only lost 2 games.
Yeah.
I drew 9, but I lost 2. So
the same amount as what PSG
better.
as well. They only lost 2 as well. And one of them was against PSG. Did you beat them? No. So you drew against them in their only game that they drew all season, which is mental. They only conceded 16 goals. They'd never conceded more than 2 against a team.
No.
That's mental stuff,
That's what
really.
you're going to try and beat, though, isn't it? That's hard work, isn't it, you know?
So 78 points. You're miles ahead of Nice in third place, so that's a positive. You jump back up with that. Anthony Martial and Terrier both had 14 goals each, so you might have sorted out the goals problem. I still don't think you have fully.
No.
I think even though you've been changing the tactics, of course you have the Tinker Man.
Yeah, you just can't afford to buy that big name striker, can you, to get in and get you the goals. So you're trying to get someone. I mean, Martial is an old favourite for me for buying for my teams, but I haven't got a lot of money because sometimes you get him on free and things like
You always get him on a free. Yeah, he's
so,
always going out of contract, isn't he?
And he always scores goals for you.
Yeah. But there we go. Not winning leagues for you yet, though.
No.
Maybe he's won a cup, though. Let's find out. No. That ninth round
Just can't do it, can I?
against Guingamp.
Oh, no. I'm losing
Another
against some
League Two side.
silly teams. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I
So,
think that's the problem when you get into the early rounds. You're resting players to play for, think, oh, I'll win that game. And these players, it's like a cup
2-1
final
loss.
for them, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. It's not great. Knocked out in the league phase of the Champions League as well. So it was a tough old season,
Yeah.
really.
It's
Lost
not good enough
6.
to be in there.
Real Madrid, Benfica, both putting 5 past you. Tottenham even beat you there. That's
I mean,
how bad
Nice
you
are
are.
in there. They're in 18th, so
Yeah. Dinamo Zagreb, Besiktas was your only 2 wins. It's not amazing. 17 goals in total for Luciano Rodriguez, who was your top scorer. Anthony Martial got 15, but he only started 20 games.
yeah.
Martin Terrier got 14, 12 for Bourgeois. Callum Oendu started to come in. He's a player that really, if you give a lot of game time to, he can reward you. But again, you're not locking these players in, Dad. You're not locking these players in and making a difference. Even Desiree Doué has kind of like stepped off now. You might have missed the opportunity there to play him.
Yeah.
Arthur Fiat's getting a good amount of games. That's always good because he's a fantastic player. Unfortunate, really. And your transfer budget for next season is 26 million. So they're still backing you in some ways.
Yeah.
They're still giving you some money.
Still not a lot, though, is it? It's not like you
No.
go and buy one really good striker, which is what I need.
But your budgets are getting better. Your debts
Yeah.
are coming down. Finances are healthy-ish. You just need that first trophy to get you over the line now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of challenges ahead of you. You need to win
What's
3
that?
of each and
It's
2
3
European
seasons and I haven't done
trophies.
nothing really, have I?
Yeah. So you got 8 trophies to win and you haven't bagged any yet.
Nope.
And you've only got
7 left.
7 left. Big summer needed ahead. The draws cost Dad big time there, and he's going to need a big window to win his first league trophy next year. And he went and sold £38 million worth of squad players with a plan on what to do with the money. Because he went and bought one of the best centre-backs in the game on the ball in Ousmane Diomande, who was still at Sporting for £46 million. As well as a young French striker who has bags of potential and was scoring a ton of goals in the Belgian Pro League for £24 million, and he's hit the ground running too with Rennes with 4 goals already. Topped off with a few free transfers, including Johannesson from Iceland, who's a great pickup, a goalkeeper because, of course, Dad did, and finally Fabinho, who's only 32 and still a baller. New season, new tactic for the Tinkerman. That's 4 different tactics in 4 seasons, and as you can see, Amad Diallo has also stuck around on loan for another year. But once again, Dad has had an awesome start to the season with 5 wins from 5, and it's going to be a race for the league title with you-know-who. To be honest though, a Coupe de France would be perfectly timed right now to get one under his belt. Hello, here we go.
By a point as well. Like, oh, good team.
It was tight, but you deserved it. You were top of the league throughout the whole season.
yeah.
That was a big season for you. That's just what you needed.
Yeah.
They didn't exactly slip up either. They had 2 losses. One of them was against you, 4 draws, or 0-0s. They had. I mean, they conceded 10 goals
And still didn't win the league.
in 34 games and didn't win the league. I don't think I've ever seen that.
No.
That is mental. 3 of them were against you as well. You take away those goals, they conceded 7 goals
Yeah.
against another 16 teams. And playing them twice. It's just absolutely crazy. But you've done it. 89 points, 1 more than their 88. They don't pick up the trophy. Rennes does.
Get in.
I ain't celebrating it. Ilekanena. It's a very tough one to say, but he was good for you.
Yeah.
21 goals. Also had one of the highest average ratings in the league, only behind Mbappe. It's a fantastic season for the youngster.
The striker to come in, didn't I?
Yeah, 20 years of age.
Yeah.
He's done quite well for you, really.
Goodbye, that.
Done very well. What about the other cup competition, though? Of course, you've struggled in the Coupe de France in the last 3 seasons. What about this year? Oh, it's a domestic double win. 3-0 against Marseille in the final. So
Yeah.
did you avoid them? No. You were the team that knocked them out in the semi-final. You got the job done. You did deserve to win that one. Absolutely. A domestic double. Fantastic stuff. Dominating France this year. Round of 16 by Real Madrid, but that's unlucky.
You come against Real Madrid, it's like coming against PSG. You just don't stand much chance, really, do you?
Knocked out Benfica 9-6 in the knockout playoff round. That was an entertaining one. 18th place there. So you got 4 wins and 4 losses. So scoring a lot of goals, but the games that you did lose, you also conceded a fair amount. 3 against City, 4 against Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Goals-wise, though, Illan Akena with 33 goals is exactly what you needed. Yeah. Kalimuendu, though, coming in and getting 18 and 14. I said to play him. You did that, and you're reaping the rewards for it because he is fantastic. Martin Terrier with 14 again, but this Amin Gori, 13 and 14 assists is fantastic as well. Luciano Rodriguez doing his part as well. The free transfer of Johannesson has done quite well too, considering he only started 22 games, getting 13 assists, a very good average rating. This was a good year.
Definitely, yeah.
But we all know what's going to happen. Say goodbye to that tactic because he won't use it again. You got £42 million in the bank to spend and build upon this league success. 101 million in the overall balance. Could you go back to back? Interesting.
Yeah.
But you've already claimed 2 trophies there, and that goes towards both challenges as well. Nice one. What a season for Omega Dad as he brings home both a league title and a Coupe de France. And the domestic double is followed by Dad selling his #1 goalkeeper of the last season, Capriel, for 36 million. Marmol also left the club too, going to Damac for 18 million. As did Fabinho after 1 season back in European football to Saudi Arabia for 14 million. So for Dad's new #1 in goal, he has brought in Jorgensen from Villarreal for 24 million pounds. A new striker has also walked in the door from Brazil, and it's Yuri Alberto, who comes in for just 9 million. The first new gen of the save comes through the door, and it's a left back from Czechia for 6 million. But look how good this attacking midfielder is, just 19 years old and already a serious talent, which Dad found playing in the Championship for Blackburn Rovers for 25 million pounds. A good option at the back for both centre back and right back is Kylian Sardella from Anderlecht, although 32 million pounds is a lot of money for him. But again, a weapon has been purchased for that right hand side, a very talented player from Portugal that cost Dad nearly 30 million pounds from Benfica. Topped off, of course, with 2 free transfers coming in that Dad will probably sell soon for big profits. The big question I'm sure you all had was whether he would change the tactic after winning the domestic double, and the Tink Man has not let you down once again. That's 5 seasons and 5 different tactics. Not a good start in the Super Cup though, but the season itself has started unbelievably well, just like this 9-0 win against Strasbourg, which again is why I hated Rennes in the first place. After Dad's massive season 4, can he capitalise on it and maybe go back to back in season 5? Okay, dropped off.
Oh dear.
Dropped off massively, 16
PSG only
points.
lost 1 game again, so they deserve to win the league, didn't they? But
yeah.
I was chasing them all the whole season by the looks of it.
Marseille were the only team that managed to defeat them. You lost 7 times. You actually lost against them twice there. Bad, maybe. You shouldn't have changed tactic after winning the league. But hey, who am I to say?
They don't call me a Tinker Man for nothing.
You got Yuri Alberto, Alan Nakena also getting 16, so that's good. People would have said, why did you buy Yuri Alberto when you already had Kalimuendu? But if he's scoring 15 goals, it doesn't look too bad at the end of the day, especially with the average rating of the other guy up front getting 7.56. That's fantastic. What about the cup competition? Did you retain the Coupe de France? You did. The Coupe de France was retained, and Rennes beat Strasbourg in the final, which of course, again, I'd like to reiterate, is the reason why I hate Rennes in the first place, because of my Strasbourg youth to gold. That's the reason why. A lot of people always ask the question. That's the reason why. Maybe we need to do a Strasbourg versus Rennes rebuild, but Rennes are far away out better than Strasbourg on Football Manager. But there we go. So who knocked out PSG along the way? You knocked out Lyon in the semi. They were knocked out earlier than the quarterfinals. So when are they? That's Paris FC. They made it further. PSG, where are you? 9th round? 9th round. They were knocked out on penalties. Jesus, they were out for like a long time by a League 2 side. So fair play. So I mean, that's a good season overall. Got another trophy.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. So I mean, you look at the season, the season as a whole. I was was it first or second the whole season
Second.
really? Yeah, and I was just chasing. And I must have lost a couple of games near the end, and just let Nice beat me there. Really, so
Round of 16 in the Champions League, because we need to remember.
yeah, I'm still.
You need to win 2 European trophies, and if you're only ever qualifying for the Champions League, that's
so
the only
hard.
one you can go for.
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to struggle with here. 5-4 on aggregate there in the round of 16. In the knockout playoff round, you didn't play in, which meant you actually went through in the top 8. That was good. You were unbeaten. You drew 3 games against Milan, Leipzig, Atletico Madrid, and won 5. Good amount of goals being scored there, but
Yeah.
I think the games you played were really easy.
I could say, looking at the games I played, I would have been disappointed if I didn't qualify when you're really.
Milan's like the only one you go,
Yeah.
whoa, you got Milan.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like, are we actually in the Champions League? Like, what's going on here? So really good stuff. Squad-wise, 23 goals with 13 assists from your top striker. Yuri Alberto also got 20. Luciano Rodriguez got 17 and 11. I feel for Callum Mwende. I feel like if you gave him more game time and more love, he would be a lot more benefiting from that. I'm more disappointed, Dad, with the youngsters that you brought in, because you brought in these fantastic talents, with Bassett being one of them, spending £25 million. He got 7 games, only 2 starts. And then Fabio Costa got 9 starts across the season. Neither of them are playing, but if you give them the game time,
Yeah.
who knows where you'll end up? Because instead you're playing players who are a lot older. Martin Terrier playing 41 games, and he's going to give you no longevity whatsoever. And that's where I think possibly you might be going wrong here with.
But you know what I'm like,
Some of
right? It's I'll play for now, innit? I mean, he's banged in 13 goals. I might not have won the cup.
Yeah, but you also might benefit because in 2 years' time you might win the Champions League, because this could be the best player in the world.
Yeah.
You know, this also could be the best right midfielder in the world if you give him the game time and love. So in the future, you might benefit. But this is why it's going to be so interesting to see how Dad does in the Youth to Gold, which is coming out very soon, so make sure you are subscribed. So, yeah, yes, you want a cup competition, but the development of your players means that this might stay the way it is. We'll have to find out. Okay, your transfer budget, £29 million next season, okay?
It's not a lot, is it?
Nope, let's see
building
what
a
happens
better
in the
squad.
summer. Another trophy this season for Dad at Rennes, and it's the second Coupe de France out of 3 for the challenge. Dad was ruthless this summer, selling £150 million worth of his squad, including a couple of first-teamers and mainstays from this Rennes side. And of course, Dad sold his goalkeeper, so he brought in a young replacement in Hoyenhall from Bodo Glimt for £7 million. But he won't be number 1 because Mamardashvili has also joined the club too, and it's Dad's favourite goalkeeper, and he's in for £50 million. Stepping into Dad's midfield this upcoming season, though, is the Brazilian Andre, who Dad's brought in from Manchester United for £30 million. And he might just be sat beside Yunus Munsa, who was also brought in for that midfield, but the man can do many roles, and that's why Dad spent big bucks of £44 million to come to Rennes. Season 6, and it's our 6th different tactic for the famous Omega Dad 3 striker formation, and it gives Bassett a position to play and develop. There has been a points dropped already this season, though, against PSG too, which isn't that great of a start. Our 6th season, 3rd place.
2 teams would just pepper me each time, wouldn't they, really? Mm-hmm. Not getting any closer to PSG again.
The consistency.
Yeah.
6 seasons. Yep. 6 tactics. League table. Let's see. So 69 points in total. 87 was PSG's high point there, what they finished on. Kind of a way off. You lost against them both times again.
Yeah.
Drawing too many as well. But it's disappointing because Nice only lost 3 games too.
One against me as well.
Yeah, so they finished 6 points above you, which is, I think, might be the furthest that you've been from finishing in first place or second place. You don't even have a top scorer in there either, which is scary. And they've got like Leroy Sané now playing for them. Is that no? Ross Stewart's there as well. So this is difficult, especially when they're bringing the likes of Florian Wirtz.
Yeah.
Now you're in
It's hard,
trouble.
isn't it? Yeah.
Now you are in trouble. You gave them a tonk in one season, and then you took the foot off the pedal and
Yeah.
allowed them
I poked the bear,
to
didn't I?
win. Yeah, that's the trouble. But back-to-back league, back-to-back Coupe de France's, sorry. Is it 3 in a row? It is 3 in a row for the Coupe de France. Extra time against Monaco. Yet to face them in the final.
Yeah.
But did you knock them out of the final? So Grenoble got there with Angers. That's who you played in the semi-final. The quarter-final, you knocked out Lille. Again, they were knocked out really early. They're not even in the 11th round. in the 10th round. Are we seeing them there? No. 9th round is where they were knocked out last season too, and you knocked them out in the 9th round.
Get in.
Wow.
That's when you've got to go on and win it.
Yeah. That's like make or breaks for you in that season, isn't it? Because if you lose against them, you're out the cup,
finished,
and they're already miles ahead of you in the league. That's your season over. But no, you've done it. Triple win in terms of the Coupe de France, which means you've won all 3 of the first challenge. That is 1 challenge complete with the Coupe de France. You've now just got to win 2 more league titles and 2 European trophies, which if we go by how you did, every single season you're playing Man City and not getting through. Knockout playoff round. In the league phase, you finished in 17th. You lost 2 against Juve Valencia. You drew against Man United and Bayern. And you won 4. 1 was against Nice, 3-0. You also beat a team called Tobol Kostanay, 8-0, who finished dead last from Kazakhstan. So, well done. But goals-wise, let's see. 20 from Yuri Alberto.
Still not good though, is it?
No, Ilna has also dropped off a little bit, although he did get a good amount of assists and a very high average rating. The players are playing more, though, because Derek Bassett, I gave you a bit of a rollicking. You played him last season. He benefited from that. He had a great season too. 5 goals, 3 assists. Good development. It's a shame about Fabio Costa, but you did the right thing. You loaned him out, and he played a lot of games. Developed a little bit.
Yeah.
You went on to Nantes as well, which is a good idea, actually, to loan them to a club in your division. And Valero, who, of course, you've just brought in on the left-hand side, also went on loan at Lens, again in the French league. And, yeah, played a lot of game time too. So, you're doing the right thing in that. I wish you just played them yourself, because you might be better off.
Yeah.
But there we go. Transfer budget, £54 million. They're backing you with more and more money. Ooh, do you need another league title, though, to repay them?
I think I do.
Yeah. But that's 3 cups in a row. Let's have a look what he does in the summer. That's 3 in a row for the Coupe de France, and that's 1 challenge completed already. Andre lasted 1 season in France before Dad is shipping him off to Italy after selling him to Roma for £32 million. However, I have to question a transfer in because Dad brought in Milanovic, who does seem a good player, but cost £44 million from Almeria. Probably because he got 25 goals in La Liga. I've also got to ask Dad why he spent so much money on yet another goalkeeper. It feels wasted money to me, but Verbruggen comes in for 75 million. Nikolic is another new gen coming into the side with great technicals and physicals for 14 million. And Dad's also got 2 free transfers in Echeverri and James Garner, who is a midfield beast. If you had 7 tactics as your guess, you'd be sweating, as this is the 7th different tactic. And we're only in Season 7. A loss in the Super Cup, but 5 wins from 5, including a massive 3-2 win over PSG from a 96th minute winner from Enzo Milot. That could be the momentum needed to get back to the top of the league table and nab yet another trophy. Season number 7, and the second league title is in the door.
Yep.
I question the Milanovic transfer, but he got the highest goals this season with 29, so maybe, what do I know?
PSG lost 5 games. You've got to jump in on that.
Yeah. Were you 2 of them? You were 1 of them.
Yeah.
And you drew the other one, so you were unbeaten against them this season. You lost 4, and that's 4 teams you should be winning.
I know. I mean, you're expecting to see PSG and Nice there, aren't you? And when you don't, you think, whoa, what have I done?
Yeah. I mean, Lens is a hard team to face, but still, the rest of them you should be beaten. You've got a goal scorer, up there with Milanovic, but your goalkeeper that you spent big on, 13 clean sheets, was the most in the league, so that's decent. You
could say that's what won me the league, really.
Yeah, potentially. What about the other competition? I mean, that's 2 out of 3 now for your league trophies that you need. With for 3 years after this, you got left, and you've also won the cup, which you didn't need to do, but you've still done it, and you still haven't faced PSG in the final. Yeah, that's a quadruple in a row there of the Coupe de France. And yeah, again, they're going out so early. I've never seen them do this bad this often. That team again knocked them out. 3-0. They just don't care about the Coupe de France anymore. They're really trying to win this Champions League, which you did not do this season. Tottenham won it the last year. What is going on here?
2 teams in the final this
time.
We'll
have to report this to SI for a bug. So where did you finish? Semi-final, you went there. Quarter-final is where you eliminated Atletico Madrid.
Oh, that's disappointing, isn't it?
2-1. Yeah. Very disappointing. So league phase, you finished in 10th, 2 points away. You lost 3. Chelsea, Roma, Benfica. Won 5. Some good wins in there as well. You also beat Tottenham, who of course were holders.
Yeah.
So you did it right there. Knockout playoff round, you knocked out Young Boys 5-0. And in the round of 16, PSG.
I took the league title off them,
Yeah.
took the cup again, and then I knocked them out of the Champions League.
Dropping out the cup early, are you? Focusing on Europe, are you? 5-2 on aggregate. I like that. Very good, Dad. Goals-wise then, you had 29 from Milanovic, which I was a little bit disappointed with, I must admit, with the money that was spent. But Nikolic, who I thought was a good signing, and I was hoping you'd play a little bit more, did play 28 games, 25 starts, 13 goals, so that was good. Good amount of goals for him. But Derek Bassett, I was asking for you to sign him, to play him more, and you definitely benefited. 4.5 star there he is now. Look at that.
Yeah.
The development in just one season of playing him, well, 2 seasons, has really helped you there. So Derek Bassett going into the side was great. Estevan Valero, the loan that you gave him, worked and paid off. He played a good amount, come up with a very good average rating as well.
Yeah.
So these youngsters that you brought in, all right, to begin with, you wasted a bit. And
Yeah.
Costa Silva is still a bit of a waste in my opinion, especially because you spent 30 million. But the other 2 you've done well. Definitely done well
I've been
with.
rewarded by it as well.
Yeah.
In the league and the cup, so.
Exactly. So it's not all failure.
No.
Not all failure at all. And you got £35 million worth in your transfer budget for season number 8. Finances aren't amazing, and you still got a lot of debt there. But okay, season number 8, you've got 1 more league title, but there's 2 European trophies.
Yeah.
2 European trophies. Okay, let's find out. Title number 2, out of 3 for Dad. It's 3 seasons to go to get the last one. The summer in season 8 was Dad's biggest yet, selling £250 million worth of players, including Milanovic for 60 million, Roger Ibanez for 46 million, and Thiat for 42 million. I was also surprised to see the striker Dad trusted a lot in earlier seasons leave, and he was replaced with Enzo Sternau, who definitely has the correct attributes to score goals and cost £60 million from Marseille. Attacking wise, Barcola also signed for the club for 14 million to give Dad options, and Alex Scott too for 75 million, who can play so many different roles in midfield and has developed really well. But Dad has sold Thiat because of this man, Mickey van der Ven, who came into Rennes from Spurs for a whopping 79 million. The final 3 signings included 2 new gens with bags of potential, including a defender with some wild attributes, and Teo Hernandez, who seemed like a good buy until I realised that Dad spent £30 million on a 32-year-old, which is very unlike him. My eyes must be deceiving me though, because it seems like Dad has kept with the same tactic as last season, meaning it's the first time he's kept with the same one 2 seasons in a row. And other than a loss in the Super Cup, it's still doing very well in the league. So is it possible Dad can win the league again and possibly get the first European trophy season number 8? Okay, dropped off, back down to 3rd place.
I wanted to keep a grip of that one.
12 points behind. They lost 2 games. One of them was against you, but you lost 6 in total, Dad. Ooh. New signing done well. He got your top scorer.
Yeah.
He was actually the top scorer of the league with 19 as well. So Enzo Sternau, as a youngster, might be one for you to pick up, because the development in that young man has been outstanding. Very good signing from Dad there, really. Although you spent quite a lot of money on him, but like worth it. £60 million. You can find him at Marseille at the start of the game. Done very well, 19 goals. Love that signing for sure.
Clean sheets again.
Clean sheets, 18. One above Donnarumma as well for Verbruggen. All right, that's decent. Very good.
Makes him a good signing when I paid that money for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Competitions, though, you need a European trophy. You do need it. It's a semi-final exit. But you won the Coupe de France again. 5 times.
Yeah.
5 times in a row, and 5 times in a row you haven't played PSG in the final. Where are they this time? They made it to the semi-final this time round, but Bordeaux was the side to eliminate them. Yeah, fair play. Okay, so semi-final by Chelsea. Let's look into this then.
After the semi-final,
5-4. 5-4. They went on to win it. They beat Real Madrid in the final. Quarter-final, you knocked out Man United 3-2. You were 2-0 down as well. I know it was 0-0. It was the first leg. Round of 16, knocking out Real Sociedad. Did you play in this? No, which meant in the league phase, you finished 3rd place, only losing 1 to Nice. Of course, 7 wins though, some good wins as well. You only conceded in the last 2 there against Bayern Munich and Juve. Good season, Dad.
Yeah.
27 goals from Sternau, 24 from Barcola, who I was shocked to see played that many games, if I'm honest. Didn't think he'd play that much. Nikolic with 20. Basic still rewarding you with game times, 18 goals. 6 assists. He's been good. Not bad. Valero with 17 assists as well. It's a good amount. It's a good amount. Transfer budget for next season, 17 million.
I thought I got more. I got to the semi-final of the Champions League.
Yeah, but you're also in 20 million pounds worth of debt. Your wage bill is really high.
Yeah.
That's your trouble. So, debts, wage bill, you won't be able to do much this transfer window, and you've got 2 years left to win 2 European trophies. And I guess one of them has to be the Champions League, because
I'm in the Champions League next
it's
season.
one you're in.
Yeah.
So really, it has to be 2 Champions Leagues.
Got to the semi-final, so I'm getting closer.
Can you build a side for it? After dropping down to 3rd place and only winning the cup, you knew a clear out was coming, and Dad sold £170 million worth of players. In that was his goalkeeper Verbruggen, so Dad brought in Trubin from Liverpool and spent £30 million less than what he sold the last one for. The other big signing for Rennes this summer though was João Neves, coming in for the midfield for Benfica for £58 million. Other transfers included Mark Guehi for free transfer at age 31, Junior Krupi for just £15 million, a new gen from Atletico Madrid, Conrado, who was a new gen from Sao Paulo, who actually looks really good, for just £14 million, and finally Joan Velasquez, who is a centre-back, all-right midfielder with 17 dribbling and only 7 jumping reach. I believe there was some subtle tactical changes, so declare that as a new one for the Team Command if you wish, but a similar setup and squad lineup. And the start of the season included 2 2-1 wins over PSG in both the Super Cup and in the league, and they are also an opponent in the Champions League league phase. Speaking of the Champions League, this season has to be the one for them to lift that trophy. There we go. League title number 3 in the bag. Happy days.
What about drawing games? Only drew 1 game.
Yeah. Now you just got to focus
5,
on European football. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, good season. You only conceded 20, which is the lowest.
Solid defence.
Solid. 4 losses in total. 1 draw against Nice, 0-0. You beat them twice, so you beat PSG in both games, which is huge. That's won you the league.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Won you the league, that one there. That's absolutely fantastic. In terms of the profile, you've got the top scorer in Sternau, so that's 2 years in a row. Barcolo's also there. But Sternau with the highest average rating, and Trubin, change the keeper, gets the most clean sheets. Trust you to do that.
But when you got a good defence around him as well, that helps, doesn't it? So,
twice in this, you've had the best keeper in the league, and both times you sold him. It's mental, really.
Yeah, but look at the money it's given me, and I'm buying a cheaper keeper and it's still getting the results from him.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, but then you're also wasting it on a lot of players as well. Okay.
Building a squad, isn't it?
Champions League. You need to win it to keep the challenge alive.
Wow.
Boom.
And another cup as well.
Treble. Treble winners. Can't believe that. Still no PSG in the final.
Well, if they're not
they
in the final,
have not been in the final.
You've got to go and win the final, haven't you?
For like 8 years. That's 6 in a row, isn't it?
I've won 6 in a row, so they've definitely been in for 6 years, have they?
No. Didn't make it the 11th round, 10th round. No. 9th round exit again from PSG for Salis on penalties. But
get it.
European champions.
Beat Chelsea. I'm happy with that.
Chelsea in the final. Alex Scott and Valero with Profundi getting their consolation. Oh, they equalise and you score 2 minutes later. They got an unbelievable side as well, Dad, that you've just beat. Obviously, you sold their keeper. You sold the keeper to them for Bruggen, and still went on and won the league. But yeah, they've got the likes of Profundi, Jamal Musiala, Yildiz is there, Udraogo's there as well.
With possession, they had 61% possession.
Possession doesn't win you games though.
No, putting the ball in the back of the net, that's what wins a game.
It does. Semi-final was against Arsenal. Yeah, let's not talk about that idiot. You beat Arsenal in the semi-final. You knocked out PSG on penalties. Nice. Round of 16. Defeated Juve 8-6. Nice. Knockout playoff round. No. League phase. You won that. Easy. Only drew to PSG. 1-7. 8-0, by the way, against Hibernian.
So I played PSG 4 times and I drew once and beat them 3.
Yeah. You only actually conceded 3 games in the whole of the Champions League league phase. Good fact.
Happy days.
Solid defence. Yeah. You got 41 goals from Sternau. That's really good. Yeah. Valero with 19 and 21. That's been a great signing for you because I think you picked him up for really cheap, 1.7 million.
Cool, yeah.
So look at that. That is the beauty of giving youngsters who need it the time and game time and trust. Yeah. Bassett has definitely developed into what I would say is well, world class. It says there as well, world class. He's a world class player now. That's definitely benefited for you from that. But yeah, good amount of goals in and around the side again. And transfer budget only 9 million after winning the Champions League.
What's going on?
You got minus 25.
Yeah.
In the overall.
It's a pity because I needed that bigger budget just for that last season. I need that trophy again, don't I?
Yeah, the debts have gone up as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But one of the challenges was to be the Champions League. You've won the league 3 times now, or more than 3 times, whatever it is. You've also won the cup, and you've won a Champions League. You need to win another Champions League to complete all of the challenges, which was to win 2 European trophies.
Mate, I'm pleased. After 3 seasons, I hadn't won anything.
No.
So I'm in with a shout at the last season. 1 trophy, that's all I need.
Going into the final year then, let's see what happens in the summer. That is a huge treble for Omega Dad in season number 9. And of course, that Champions League win in the final against Chelsea keeps the challenge alive. A win that also completes the challenge of winning the Champions League with Rennes. But to complete all of the challenges, we need to remember that Dad needs to win another Champions League next season. And so, Dad sold £58 million worth of players in the summer and identified his one big weakness in the team, the left-back position, signing both Cucurella and John Herman, who again, he might have overpaid for. And in classic Omega Dad fashion, he changed the tactic one last time after winning the Champions League, which I think is either the 8th or 9th different tactic, depending on whether you counted the role changes a couple of seasons ago. But the Tinkerman has started well, and he has been scoring a good amount of goals at the start of the season. Will it be enough, though, to go all the way and lift the Champions League trophy to complete all the challenges I set him out to do? Final season, season number 10, and you got the job done.
Yes.
92 points to PSG's 84. Lost 2 games. One of them was to PSG, but doesn't matter.
Nope.
That is, as we can now see, 4 league titles. You only needed 3, but you completed that challenge quite nicely. Sterner with 33 league goals as well.
That's a good buy as well, wasn't it?
Unbelievable, really. Yeah. You consider, I know he cost you 60 million, but the last 2 seasons alone,
yeah,
unbelievable for him. In 33 in just 29 games. I mean, the change of tactic again, but it worked. Yeah. It paid off because you won the league. But did it work and pay off for the challenges?
Last one, come on.
The last one. You needed another European trophy, and you've only gone and won it in the final against Liverpool. Yes. 1-0, and you won another Coupe de France. Finally beating PSG in the final.
Oh, getting even better.
They finally made it in the final. But that is 7 years in total now that you've won the Coupe de France and the Champions League, defeating Liverpool in the final. That's a good win.
Yes.
That's a good win. And you beat the challenge. PSG lost in the semi-final of that. Imagine if you faced them in the final. That would have been absolutely hilarious.
They'd beat me as well, wouldn't I?
Yeah. Quarter-final knocking out AC Milan. And the round of 16 knocking out Valencia. The league phase, you finished in the top. You lost 1 against Porto, drew 2, Chelsea and Liverpool.
Drew Liverpool there.
Yeah. And you beat some teams. Even Man City 4-1 in the league phase. Fair play. As much as I hate Rennes, I'm happy you managed to complete the challenge. You've done very well with the challenges, completing all 3 that I set out for you to do, including one that I thought would be impossible to do, the Champions League. You've managed to win it twice.
Last 2 seasons.
So all the challenges complete in 10 seasons at Rennes. Well done. Now it's just Youth to Gold.
What a team.
On to Youth to Gold for Dad.
You can
for
see
the
where I'm
next one.
struggling already with the youth players in it, so you can understand why it's going to be hard for me.
So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one coming up. But why not check out this video here, because me and Dad were West Ham and Brentford, and we put a lot of legends in a wheel. And every single season we added a couple of legends to our teams. That's a good rebuild for you to go watch right now.